Good morning. I want you to do something with me for just a moment. Close your eyes, if you feel comfortable. Imagine it's tomorrow morning. The sun is just beginning to peek through your window. You start to stir, and a thought crosses your mind. Here we go again, the morning ritual. But then something different happens. You swing your legs over the side of the bed, you place your feet on the floor, and you stand up. Just like that. There's no sharp twinge in your back, no deep, grinding ache in your knee. Your ankles don't feel like they're made of rusty hinges. You take a step, then another. You walk to the kitchen to make your morning coffee or tea, and you realize you're not groaning, you're not shuffling, you're just walking. The stiffness that usually takes an hour to work out is simply not there. Now, open your eyes. Does that sound like a fantasy? A distant memory from 20 or 30 years ago? For so many of us, it does. We've been told, and we've come to believe, that aches, stiffness, and a slow, painful start to the day are just a normal part of getting older. It's a price we pay for a long life. But what if I told you that for millions of people, that's not entirely true? What if I told you that much of that daily discomfort isn't about the number of candles on your birthday cake, but about a quiet deficiency happening inside your body, a problem that your body has been trying to tell you about, one creak and groan at a time? Today, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how two forgotten nutrients, working as a team, can help your body's own overnight repair crew finally get the tools it needs to do its job. And we're going to talk about how you can start feeling that difference in as little as 30 days. I want to tell you about Margaret. Margaret is 72, a retired school teacher with a beautiful garden and 2 grandchildren she adores. For years, her mornings were a negotiation. She'd wake up and lie in bed for a few minutes, mentally preparing for the effort of standing. She described it to me as a checklist of aches. First, the lower back would announce itself, then the left hip, then the knees. Getting out of a chair felt like a major project. She loved gardening, but the bending and kneeling meant she'd be paying for it with stiffness for the next 2 days. Her doctor was kind. He told her, "Margaret, it's arthritis. It's part of the aging process. Let's manage the pain." She accepted it. Her friends all complained about the same things. It seemed normal. This was just what being 72 felt like. But Margaret's story is where so many of us get stuck. We mistake a symptom for an inevitability. We see the check engine light on our car's dashboard, and instead of looking under the hood, we just learn to live with the light. The stiffness, the slow recovery, the joint pain, these are signals. They're your body's way of saying, "Hey, I'm trying to do repairs here, but I'm missing some critical supplies." And for our bones, our joints, and even our arteries, those missing supplies are often 2 quiet but incredibly powerful vitamins. They don't get the fame of vitamin C or the headlines of iron, but without them, our entire internal structure can start to falter. I'm talking about vitamin K2 and vitamin D. Let's start with the lesser-known hero of this story, vitamin K2. Most people have heard of vitamin K, but they're usually thinking of vitamin K1, which is found in leafy greens and helps with blood clotting. Vitamin K2 is different. It has a very specific, very important job. Imagine your bloodstream is a busy highway, and calcium is the cargo being transported. Calcium is essential. We need it for strong bones and teeth. The problem is that calcium can be a bit aimless. Left on its own, it can end up in the wrong places. It can get deposited in your arteries, making them stiff. It can build up in your joints, contributing to painful arthritis. It can even form kidney stones. This is where vitamin K2 comes in. Think of vitamin K2 as the body's traffic cop. Its job is to stand at the intersections in your bloodstream and direct the calcium traffic. It activates proteins that tell calcium exactly where to go. It waves it through to your bones and teeth, saying, "Right this way, you're needed here." And just as importantly, it puts up roadblocks to keep calcium out of your soft tissues, like your arteries and joints, saying, "Nope, this is a restricted area. Keep moving." This isn't just a nice theory. It's backed by incredible science. In Japan, where a traditional fermented soybean dish called natto, the world's richest source of K2, is commonly eaten, studies have shown significantly lower rates of bone fractures and osteoporosis. The Rotterdam study, a massive, long-term European study published in the Journal of Nutrition, followed over 4,800 people for a decade. The results were stunning. Those with the highest intake of vitamin K2 were 57% less likely to die from heart disease and had far less calcium buildup in their arteries. Essentially, K2 solves one of the biggest paradoxes in health. We need calcium for our bones, but that same calcium can harm our hearts. K2 is the missing link that ensures calcium helps us instead of hurts us. Now let's talk about K2's essential partner, vitamin D. Most of us know about vitamin D. We call it the sunshine vitamin. We know it's important for bones and our immune system, but let's get specific about its role in this partnership. If vitamin K2 is the traffic cop inside your body, vitamin D is the gatekeeper at the entrance. Your body can't use calcium if it can't absorb it from your food in the first place. Vitamin D's primary job is to open the gates in your intestines and allow calcium to pass from your digestive system into your bloodstream. Without enough vitamin D, you could eat all the calcium-rich foods in the world, but most of it would pass right through you. It's like having a delivery of building materials for your house, but the foreman who's supposed to sign for it never shows up. The materials just get sent back. The National Institutes of Health, the NIH, reports that vitamin D deficiency is a major public health issue, especially among older adults. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at making vitamin D from sunlight, and we often spend more time indoors. So, vitamin D gets the calcium into the bloodstream. It makes the raw material available. But on its own, it can't tell the calcium where to go. That's why this partnership is so critical. This is where the magic happens. Taking vitamin D without K2 is like hiring a crew to deliver asphalt to a work site, but forgetting to hire the paving crew to lay it down. The delivery trucks, vitamin D, just dump the asphalt, calcium, all over the place. Some might land on the road, your bones, but a lot of it will end up on the grass, in the flower beds, and blocking driveways, your arteries and soft tissues. It creates a mess. This is the calcium paradox I mentioned earlier. For years, doctors told people, especially postmenopausal women, to take high doses of calcium and vitamin D for their bones. But some studies, including research looked at by scientists at Harvard, began to show a troubling link between high-dose calcium supplementation and an increased risk of heart problems. Why? Because without the K2 traffic cup, all that extra calcium brought in by the vitamin D was getting stuck in the arteries. When you take vitamin D and K2 together, you get the complete system. Vitamin D acts as the gatekeeper, ensuring calcium is absorbed into the bloodstream. Vitamin K2 acts as the traffic cop, ensuring that calcium gets deposited in your bones and teeth while being kept out of your arteries and joints. This is your body's internal roadwork crew. D brings the materials, and K2 paves the roads, making them strong and smooth. The result? Stronger bones and clearer, more flexible arteries. It's a win-win for your mobility and your heart health. This isn't just about preventing future problems. It's about reversing the discomfort you're feeling right now. When calcium is properly managed, inflammation can decrease, joints can move more freely, and that deep, grinding stiffness can begin to fade. So, how do we get these incredible nutrients into our system? The best way is always through food if you can. For vitamin D, you're looking for fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines, egg yolks, fortified milk or orange juice, and of course, sensible sun exposure. For vitamin K2, it's a little trickier as it's less common in the modern Western diet. The best sources are natto, that fermented soybean dish from Japan. It has an acquired taste, but it's the undisputed champion. Aged and hard cheeses like Gouda, Brie, and Edam. Egg yolks again, and grass-fed butter. The grass-fed part is important as the cows convert the K1 in the grass into K2. Liver and other organ meats. Now, as you can see, it can be challenging to get enough K2 from food alone, especially if you're not a fan of natto or liver. That's why a high-quality K2 plus D supplement can be a game-changer for many people. Look for one that has vitamin D3 and K2 in the MK7 form, which stays in the body longer and is more effective. But here's a tip that makes all the difference. Timing. Your body does its most important repair work while you sleep. That's when it rebuilds muscle, heals tissues, and shores up your bones. This is your body's overnight repair crew. By taking your K2 and D with your evening meal, you are giving that crew the exact tools they need, right when they are clocking in for their shift. You're stocking the workshop for a full night of productive repairs. This simple habit can be the key to waking up feeling refreshed and renewed, instead of stiff and sore. I don't want this to just be interesting information. I want it to be a transformation for you. That's why I want to invite you to try a simple 30-day morning ease challenge. The goal is to consciously increase your intake of K2 and D for 1 month, either through food or a supplement taken with your evening meal, and just pay attention to how you feel. Don't expect a miracle on day 1. Your body needs time to restock its supplies. Here's what you might notice, based on the experiences of people like Robert, a 68-year-old retired plumber I know. Week 1, the foundation. Robert said he didn't feel much different in the first week, and that's normal. Your body is just getting the raw materials it's been missing. You're laying the foundation. Week 2, the first glimmers. Around day 10, Robert noticed something small. He stood up from his favorite armchair after reading the paper and didn't let out his usual groan. The creakiness, as he called it, was just a little less intense. Week 3, the breakthrough. This is when things got exciting. Robert woke up one morning and realized he'd gotten out of bed without holding on to the nightstand for support. He felt more stable on his feet. The morning fog of stiffness was lifting earlier and earlier. Week 4, the new normal. By the end of the month, the change was undeniable. A long walk with his wife no longer meant a painful evening and a stiff next morning. He had more energy because his body wasn't spending it all just fighting to move. It wasn't that he felt 25 again, but he felt like a vibrant, capable 68-year-old, not an old man. This is what's possible. I want to leave you with this thought. For so long, we've been taught to see aging as a process of inevitable decline. We start to see our bodies as fragile, unpredictable, or even as the enemy. But your body has been on your side for your entire life. It is a masterpiece of resilience. It has carried you through decades of work, joy, stress, and love. It has an incredible innate wisdom and a powerful desire to heal itself. All it asks of us is that we give it the right building blocks. That feeling of strength and ease you dream of in the morning isn't a fantasy. It's a message from your body about its own potential. It's what's possible when we stop blaming age and start providing nourishment. You are not defined by your stiffness. You are not your aches and pains. You have the power to change how you feel one small, consistent habit at a time, starting tonight. So what do you think? Are you ready to give your body the tools it needs to feel better? If you are ready to try the 30-day Morning Ease Challenge, I want you to go down to the comments right now and type the number 1. Let's create a community of people doing this together. If you're still thinking about it or want to do more research, that's perfectly okay. Type 0 in the comments. There's no pressure. The first step is just learning. And if you found this information helpful and want more science-backed, practical tips to help you thrive in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, please take a moment to click that subscribe button. We release a new video every week designed to empower you on your health journey. Thank you so much for your time today. Remember, every single day is a new opportunity to build a stronger, healthier you. I'll see you in the next video.